Hello everyone, today I'm going to bring you a no-sew hair bow tutorial. I know that there are quite a few people that don't really like the idea of sewing, so I will pop this in the beginners tutorial playlist. I personally do prefer to make these sewing. I just find sewing easy. I've had a go at it and yeah, I don't find it too bad. But if you are one of these people who are like, no, I definitely don't like sewing, then this tutorial is for you. It is a gorgeous style hair bow and it measures around 11 centimeters or around 4.5 inches. This was a really good size. I have done a tutorial for this one in a smaller version, a sewn one obviously. I will pop a link for that one here, but this one is all no sew. You will need some all-purpose adhesive. This will help to hold everything together whilst you're making your bow, and then also a couple of hair clips or fabric clips. These fabric clips are really handy. I did buy some of these because they hold quite tight. They hold a bit tighter than a hair grip. I will pop a link for everything that I've used in the description below, including the glue, the ribbon, everything. So I've got 4 pieces of ribbon. 2 pieces are for the base bow here, and these 2 pieces are double lined to give this sort of different look on the top layer of the bow. That is optional. You can just use 1 piece on the top layer if you want. Just exclude my other ribbon, so you'll just have 3 pieces, but it's up to you. I like the look of sort of the organza lined on there. It just makes it a little bit different and adds a little bit of interest. So the ribbon lengths you need to cut. So these 2 are the same. They're both 4 centimeters wide or 1.5 inch wide ribbon, and they are both cut to 42 centimeters in length or around 16.5 inches in length, and that is the 2 pieces, or just 1 if you don't want the double lined look. And then the 2 for the base bow, again 4 centimeters wide or 1.5 inch wide, and both pieces are cut to 25 centimeters in length or just under 10 inches in length, and that is 2 pieces. So I'm going to set these 2 longer pieces aside for now, and we're going to make our base bow. First of all, I'm just going to heat seal the raw edges, and this will get rid of any frays and prevent any further fraying. And then I've got my all-purpose adhesive here ready. I'm going to just remove the lid so it's ready to use. And I'm going to fold this piece of ribbon in half. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of heat from my lighter to mark in the centre, a crease for the centre. Like this. And then using my all-purpose adhesive glue, which I've now squeezed too much out. Just pop a bit across the crease there and overlap one side of that ribbon, and then again pop another little bit on there along that raw edge, and then bring the other side in. So again, you're overlapping the crease in the centre. Repeat that on the second piece, so fold it in half, use a little bit of heat from the lighter, a bit of glue along that crease, overlap one side, and the same with the other side. Making sure that I've overlapped this centre slightly. Ensure that both pieces are still the same length. I'm just going to replace the lid on my glue, which is a little bit of a mess. I could do with another new one. And now we're going to hand pinch the cinch in the middle. So I'm just grabbing a couple of little pieces of cotton, ready to tie the middles. You can use an elastic band if you like, but cotton works out a lot cheaper, just a cheap simple thread. To make the pinch in the middle, I fold it up in half first, like this, and then I'm going to make another bump on this side and another bump on this side. So I'm going to bring this side back up so it's overhanging a little bit, and then bring that end down, so you've got two pinches. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side, so bring this side up and down to make another hump, so you've got that pinch in the middle like this. Keeping this pinch together with my thumb and finger, grabbing my thread, I'm going to lay my thread underneath that thumb. I'm going to leave enough length at the bottom here to tie it off, making sure it's central. I'm then going to wrap this around the middle a few times and then pull it tight and tie it in a knot. Trim off the excess tails of thread, and then if it's not quite central you can slide it a little bit because that can move, but that looks central to me. So that's one half done. I'm going to repeat that now on the second piece. So we've now got our two tucks bows made, and then we're going to join these two together to make a double tucks bow. So grabbing my hot glue gun, I'm just going to fold this back a little bit so I can pop my glue in that middle, and then bring the other one together. Making sure that they're nice and even. And that is our freehand double tucks base bow ready. I'm going to set this aside now. And now taking our two 42cm pieces of ribbon, or like I said, you can use one piece, and I'm going to just use a pin to put these two together and find the middle. I have already marked the centre, so I folded this in half. I used a little bit of heat from my lighter so I can see where the centre is. And you can do the same with this, although it is quite difficult to see the centre because you can't use a lighter for this because it's quite delicate, this organza ribbon. So just give it a pinch, and the heat from your fingers should give it enough of a crease just to see that centre. Lay those two centres on top of each other together neatly. And then just pop a pin where that centre crease is through both pieces, just to hold them together. And obviously you've got your centre there, then you can see that visually with the pin. Next I'm going to turn this over, so I've got my ribbon with the stitched edge facing towards me, because if I show you on this one, I want the stitched ribbon to be at the top and this organza ribbon peeping through at the bottom. So you want whichever ribbon you want to be your most dominant ribbon to be at the top. And then we're going to work on this left side first, so I'm just going to slide this over so you can see. I like to hold my hand here just to keep these ribbons together. And then I'm going to bring this side over towards the middle. You will naturally get a little bit of overhang because obviously with this ribbon being on the inside, it's got a shorter distance, so you do naturally get a little bit of an overhang, but don't worry too much about that. And then next we're going to bring these corners down diagonally to meet the bottom. So the top corner's in the middle to meet this bottom. So I'm just going to grab this corner and bring it down. So it looks like this. I'm just going to turn it sideways a moment, making sure they're all lined up. And then this is where we need our all-purpose adhesive. I'm going to pop a little bit of adhesive here and also between these two layers. And then grabbing my fabric clip, I'm going to pop it on there to hold those in place whilst the glue is drying. So it looks like this. And now we're going to do the same on this opposite side. So I'm just straightening out the ribbon, popping this hand here to keep them together whilst I bring this and fold it in half towards the centre. And then again, bringing this top corner down to meet this bottom right corner this time. So bringing these corners down, diagonal to meet the bottom corner, like that. So you've mirrored the two sides. And then I'm just again going to take my all-purpose adhesive, pop a bit of glue between the two layers and a bit of glue on there, and a fabric clip on there to hold them in place whilst the glue is still wet. And now we're going to flip it upside down again. So flipping it over, so now we've got the organza facing towards us. It should look like this on the back. We're going to now bring these sides in and we're going to meet the raw edge with the middle. So like that. So I'm going to pop some of my all-purpose adhesive along the left side of the pin, which is central. I'm going to fold this side over, and then you have to sort of twist it a little bit to get that raw edge to meet in that middle. And then I'm just going to remove this clip and pop it up here to hold it all in place. And I'm just going to pop some glue, make sure I've got glue on that bottom end to hold that corner. And then we're going to do the same with the other side. So again, pop some glue along that right hand side of the pin this time, making sure I've got glue at the bottom. Pop the lid of my glue now, so we won't need that anymore. And again, fold this half in and meet this raw edge up on the other side. Just remove that clip and stick that all down so that they're touching each other in the middle. And again, I'm just going to use this other clip to hold them together. And then we can remove that pin now. So this is what we've got now. This is actually the underside. We will hide the join up at the back. So this will be the front, even though they look the same. We always hide the workings at the back. So this is the front of the bow, and we can pop our pinch in there now. I would normally let the glue dry for a little while, but as I'm doing a tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and remove these clips and make my pinch. So again, grabbing another piece of thread and laying it down ready to use. We're going to do the same as we did with this half of the bow to make the pinch. So again, coming up in the middle first, and then making another hump on this side, so down in the middle and then up and down, and then the underside, bottom side, again up and down. So you've got that lovely pinch in the middle like that. Grabbing the thread as we did before, popping it under my thumb, pulling it through so I've got just enough to tie off, making sure it's central, and then wrap this around the middle a few times, pull it tight, and then tie it off on the underside. So that is the top layer of the bow now complete. We can now layer this on our double tuck space bow. So taking my hot glue gun, I'm going to place some glue in the middle and line this up. And then I've got a 45mm double prong clip. I like to use these because my daughter likes these, but you can use a longer clip if you like, because this is quite a large bow. So you might find that this is too small, but I'm using this for now because that's what my daughter likes. I've got this baby blue ribbon. It has got flowers on it, but I'm going to ignore them and line my clip with it because you won't see much of it anyway. I didn't have any plain baby blue. Or you can cut a strip from your ribbon 1 centimetre wide to match. And this ribbon here is 1 centimetre wide cut to 11 centimetres, and this wraps a 45mm hair clip perfectly. This is optional, but I always like to wrap my clips just to hide the metal hardware. And then I'm going to attach this to the underside of my hair bow now. I don't ever pop glue on the pinch part. I like to keep that bit free, so when you open the bow you don't have to squash your loops down. You can just grab under the clip, or you can grab the tails and the clips. It don't matter if you flatten the tails because they're already flat anyway. Now for the centre, I'm going to use this ribbon again. So I'm keeping it on the roll for now. I'm not going to cut it yet because I like to measure as I'm doing it. And I'm going to do the same as I did this one, this like nice sort of twisted look in the middle, sort of a ruchy look. So heat sealing the end first, but we're going to fold it. So I'm going to make a Z shape. So I'm just holding it on both ends, pushing this side up, this side down to make this Z shape, and then bringing them together. And then whilst I'm heat sealing the ends, I'm going to give it a pinch to melt those ends together. Now obviously with this being now 3 layers of ribbon, it can be quite bulky for under the clip. So what you could do is when you pop it under your clip, pop it slightly toward the inside. So I'm going to pop some glue on that end, and I'm going to pop this under my clip slightly off center. So this is the center, slightly to the left of the center of the bow. And then I'm going to go ahead now to see where I need to cut this. So I'm just going to roughly take this around. So I need to cut it about here. And then I'm going to flip this over and do the same again. So taking this end, making that Z shape, and again heat sealing and melting those ends together at the same time. Be careful you don't burn your fingers because it does get hot. And then what you've then got is when you pull this round, you get this sort of natural sort of twisty ruche look. I think I might cut off a little bit more actually, so I'll just cut off a tiny bit more. bringing this side now slightly to the right of the centre, and that way you haven't got these all layered up on top of each other, so it's not too bulky underneath the clip. So that is a good tip for you all there. So I'm going to open that clip again and stick this next to there. So as you can see, there's not all them layers of ribbon now in the middle, and it still looks fine on the front because you've got that lovely twisted look. You can even bring this together a little bit more to make it look more ruchy if you want to, and then reshape the bow once you've done that part, because it can go a little bit out of shape. And then what I like to do is pop my fingers in these loops and open them out. You can do the bottom ones as well if you like on that top layer. And then you get that lovely wavy looped look. If you look at it from the side, you've got that lovely waves in that ribbon. It is such a pretty hair bow. And if you don't like sewing, that is the method that you could use. And there is the other one. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. I'll be back soon again with another tutorial. Bye.